What does it feel like to have career high and 3 rushing touchdowns in a game?
I mean, obviously really good, but you got to contribute that to the O-line. Really from the start of the game, they were able to block them up, get a hat on a hat, and just make a lot of running lanes for the backs and myself. And we just did a really good job of taking what they gave us. Obviously, they were playing kind of softer on the perimeter, so it was hard to throw it, but we had good running lanes, and that's what we decided to do. And then when we got close there, we were able to punch it in.
Do you feel like this was your best all-around game of your career? I mean, it's by touchdowns, it certainly is, but that's not the only measure. Do you feel like it was? And how so?
I mean, it's obviously up there. I feel confident about that, but I think that I've had a few games like that just where I've been versatile, but it goes back. I couldn't have done any of it without the guys around me and the running backs. They ran hard to get us all the way down there. Our receivers did really well on the perimeter blocking, which opened up a lot of shots that we were able to connect on. And so it was obviously a really good confidence game for me, and it was just a great team win. There was nothing that I did that was anything special, and obviously it was all those guys doing most of the work themselves.
You were trying to throw a couple blocks a few times from running backs. You obviously stuck your nose in there trying to get that first down late. How do you balance, that kind of aggressiveness with also kind of protecting yourself?
It's tough. I think as a quarterback in my position, it's one of the toughest things to do because we want to be athletic, we want to use our skills, but at the same time, we know the value of not taking those unnecessary hits. And at the end of the game, obviously there was no question the game was on the line. You got to kind of do that for your team, and then it's just all about what we talk about, our DNA traits. It's about toughness. It's putting your body out there for your guys next to you, and obviously they do the same for me, so why can't I do it for them?
I think with the results of the first 2 weeks, a lot of people thought you learned the most about yourselves from this game. What do you feel like you guys learned about yourselves this week?
That we can compete at a high level with a really, really competitive team, and obviously it helped playing them here at home. The atmosphere was awesome. And we were able to jump on them early. Our defense started out with that, and they from really that point on, after our first drive, we were in control of the game. And obviously that there at the end of the third, it was kind of got a little slow, but at the end of the day, we were still in control of the game. And when we took that last drive down the field, took about, 8 minutes off the clock. That shows a lot about our team.
Bo, Dan talked about wanting to establish an identity in this game. What do you think that 5-minute drive at the end of the first half did to do that, and what do you think that identity is based on that?
Well, I think it shows us that our DNA traits are paying off. I think our identity is starting to show that we're a physical, hard-nosed team, but at the same time we can get on the perimeter and we can make some plays at the skill positions as well. And I think when you look at the game film, we'll obviously go back and look at it, but the guys playing without the ball is something that we really talked about heavily this week. And you see a lot of receivers and tight ends and even linemen finishing blocks and playing really well without the ball and getting in the game.
Just on that 46-yard pass to Franklin, they had a backup cornerback on him on that play. So something you guys talked about, something you identified?
Yeah, not at all. We just knew the coverage they were going to be playing, and Troy made an incredible catch. And I can't wait for him to continue to do that because we know the kind of skills he's got, and he's only going to continue to get better and better and more confident the more he plays because, people forget he's still just a true sophomore, and making plays like that in an atmosphere like that, in a game like that, that's huge.
How did you feel to bust down a throw like that? I know last week a lot of fans were saying, hey, we want more throws. You're like, well, fans don't always know. So how does it feel to bust down a throw like that?
It was great because we just took what the defense gave us. We were talking about certain shots that we could call. We knew we'd get them in some soft zone, and with motion like that, we knew we could maybe have a chance to throw it over the top. And when I looked at Troy, he did a great job of routing his guy up. He had great separation. And then when I threw it, it was just all about Troy going and making a play. Again, there was nothing that I did. It was more of a better catch.
In the last 2 weeks, the first team offense scored 13 straight drives. 12 of those were touchdowns. Just what do you attribute to the high level of success you guys are playing at right now?
Well, you got to, give credit to Coach Dillingham right now because he's calling great games. He's putting us in great situations. We have plans going in every drive, and I think at the beginning of drives when we have those kind of plans and we're able to move the ball at the get-go, get 1 or 2 first downs, we're allowed to get into tempo. and that's huge for our offense. And obviously, at the end of the day, when you look at the past 2 games, we've ran the ball at a high level. We've gotten ahead of the chains. We've gotten some second and shorts, third and shorts, and we really haven't had third and longs, which in the past has killed teams in third and longs, and it's going to continue to kill teams when you get in third and longs. So keeping those second and third and shorts is what's really doing the job for us.
How do you describe
decision making, something that's been talked about a lot with you? How do you feel like you did in that area today, and how much does it help when you are able to establish the run early?
Just confident. I felt like I didn't do anything different. Just went out there and played the game, let it come to me, and just at the end of the day, I'm a point guard and with some great positions around me, great skilled players. So when you have my job, to be honest with you, is kind of easy. Just knowing what to do with the ball, knowing who to get the ball to, and then letting those guys do their thing.
How do you describe that 13 personnel group there, particularly at the end of the first half, to be able to not just milk the clock, but to rely on a formation like that where they know what's coming and still be able to?
Yeah, that's, at the end of the day, it's kind of like you said, they know it's coming, and it's just up to us to get it going. And you have to credit our line again, creating some running lanes, and our backs ran it very physical today. The tight ends love getting on the field and knocking people around.
How do you drive at the end of the first half? Was that something you guys said, hey, we're going to get the second half kickoff, so if we go down here and score, we scored open the second half, we're in really good shape. Was that something you guys kind of talked about, or how did it kind of just play out that way?
Well, we got the ball with a little bit over like a 2-minute situation, so we knew it could potentially be either a quick score or we'd eventually get into that 2-minute and we could take some time off the clock. So at the beginning of the drive, we just got some first downs and we're moving like a normal offense, and then at the end, we got into kind of a slower mode to where we wanted to run the ball, take some clock, because we were running the ball effectively. We didn't want to give the ball back to them, and so when we line up like that and run the ball, I believe on that drive we had a good 4th down conversion. So it's all about just moving the chains and getting in 3rd and 4th down and manageable, and that's what we did a great job of today.
After that first game, there was a lot of pressure on you. So how have you handled that, and how are you fitting in your identity as a Duck now?
Well, one of my past coaches told me pressure is a privilege, and so I've really taken that to heart. And there's nothing like more true, in my opinion. When you have a lot of pressure, it means that people believe in you and people believe you can do it, or there wouldn't be pressure at all because there wouldn't be a doubt. So I'm just confident in my team. I'm confident in what they do. And really, I just got to go out there and do my job because the other guys, the other 10 guys are doing theirs. And so it's all about doing your 111th. And then, we're just having a lot of fun right now. There's no doubt about it. We're enjoying like our teammates, we're enjoying being around. I think you can tell that after each touchdown. We spend a lot of time on the field celebrating. We're always having to get in trouble getting off.
How do you describe an offense that's capable of both 50-yard pass with 6 20-yard passes and also to milk the clock and run with 13 personnel and 6 over?
You're a really challenging offense. You're really presenting a lot of trouble for a defense when you do that. And obviously we've seen in the past how what we do on offense is kind of challenging to defense, and they have a hard time adjusting to it because we can go from any kind of set to like a big set to a small set. We can do really anything. We're very versatile, and like I said, Coach Dillingham puts us in great situations.
Are there certain routes or concepts that you've identified, the coaches have helped identify, that on those, when errors happen, today they didn't, last week they didn't, obviously against Georgia you had, are there certain aspects that you guys have tried to identify in helping try to eliminate those beyond just, don't throw an interception? Well, no kidding. But are there very specific things, you don't have to say what they are, but are there things other than a misread?
Well, we have our, we have our bread and butter concepts. We have our plays that we run over and over and over and we've gotten really good at, but at the same time, we're allowed to, with our offense and how it's situated, we're allowed to get into the same plays in a different formation. So from a defense, it looks crazy. You got to line up to it. And a different guy on defense may play the route that they've been practicing all week with somebody else. So that's what's extremely important for us. That's what I think we're doing a good job of. Again, it goes back to Coach Dillingham and our offensive staff. They do a great job during the week making a plan for us that we're really comfortable with. And then at the end of the day, when you get into the game, the adjustments are really good. And each drive, like I mentioned, we have a plan of what we're about to go out there and do, and that's really big for us.
Terrence talked about how, right when you came here, you said you wanted to do after practice, throw to the receivers and the tight ends. How has that helped, and why did you start doing that?
Well, like as you mentioned, Terrence is just a really athletic, talented player. And I think getting him the ball is just putting him in good situations. And just the chemistry and the confidence we have with one another right now, it's just really high, and obviously we're going to continue to do that.